And now, finally, we will learn how to write off uncollectible rent. If you have any questions about this topic, you can leave them in the comments section below and I'll do my best to help you. And of course, if you feel the video helped you, I hope you will click like and don't forget to subscribe to get updates on new videos that come out all the time. Sometimes tenants move out after becoming bankrupt or just in a condition where they simply can't pay. This means there's several months' rent owed that will never be collected. If you recorded the uncollectible invoices, then those invoices are adding to the balance of the rent receivable account. You could just delete them, but you shouldn't. You should keep a record of the months they stayed and what they owed. Sometimes the past invoices will have helpful information on them, and you can just make the tenant inactive so that you could reactivate the tenant if you ever need to see the details on anything that was written on one of their invoices. So what will happen when you write off an invoice? Well, rent receivable will go down because you're no longer owed that money because you wrote it off. And a normal accounting expense that accountants call bad debt expense will increase, and this is the expense that your company has when customers who owe you money don't pay. We will call this account uncollectible rent expense. From the main menu, we click List, Chart of Accounts, and in the bottom left, we click Account New. The type is expense, click Continue, and the name is Uncollectible Rent Expense. Now, click Save and Close, and now it's in the Chart of Accounts, ready for our example. So, here's our example. On December 31, 2020, Dave Deeney moves out, and you will never get money from him. His balance was $7,600 when it was formally declared that you will get nothing. We have to write off his balance and then make him inactive. Let's take a look at how to do it. How do we do it? Well, only the desktop accountant's edition of QuickBooks has the write-off invoices tool. So in our case, we have to accomplish the same thing by making a journal entry. Before we make the journal entry, let's take a look at the tenant balance detail to confirm that this guy, Dave Deeney, owes us $7,600. His balance should be zero after we write it off. From the main menu, click Company, Make General Journal Entry, just like we learned. Now, the date in our little story is December 31st of 2020. And of course, we already agreed that rent receivable will decrease by $7,600. Then the question is, do we put the $7,600 on the debit side or the credit side? Well, if you look at the trial balance, you can see that rent receivable is normally on the debit side. Therefore, to decrease it, we have to put it on our money amount on the credit side. So if we when we're done with this, this will be $7,600 less. And bad debt expense, which is uncollectible rent expense, will show up on the trial balance for the first time as $7,600. So again, if rent receivables on the debit side, make it a credit. We come back here, rent receivable, we put on the credit side to decrease $7,600, push tab. So what account should we debit? The new account that we put on the list, uncollectible rent expense. Now we click, one last most important thing. On the same line as rent receivable, you have to come here where it says name and you have to choose Dave Deeney. I repeat, you do not have to mark it as billable because he's not going to pay, but you have to put rent receivable on the credit side, $7,600, and on the same row as rent receivable, you have to put that particular tenant. Then you put the debit as uncollectible rent, and we click Save and Close. Now look, rent receivable decreased by the $7,600, and uncollectible rent expense showed up for the first time as $7,600. And now when we look on the tenant balance detail, you can see that Dave Deeney's balance has decreased to 0. And of course, now that Dave's balance is 0, we can open the tenant's records, and we can right-click on Dave, and we can click Make Customer Inactive. Now when we go back to the report and click Refresh, well, he's still there. Let's see if he's still there. Okay. Candy Charles, Dave Deeney. So he'll still be there on the older reports, but if you open the tenant's records, you won't see him on the list anymore because he has been made inactive.